And welcome back to another day at Theros Beyond Death Spoilers. Now, NTG Salvation, the one I go to. I know Mythic Spoilers, the one a lot of people go to. I go to Salvation. Does have a couple more cards that haven't been spoiled just not updated on the site yet. So I'll talk briefly about those. But there's not a lot in terms of what they've shown today, otherwise. But still, favored of Iris is 1 white, 2 of any color for a 2/2 human soldier with constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, this card gets double strike till the end of turn. It's a good little card, a good little enchantment creature, or a good little excuse me, good little constellation card. You know, it's gonna react off your enchantments. 2/2 for 3 is usable in any general way. So the fact you can get an enchantment out on the field is pretty impressive. Heroes of the Revel, 1 red, 4 of any color for a 4/4 uncommon Satyr Soldier. When this card enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 red Satyr creature token that cannot block. So I missed a red on the demigod, the red demigod, that it cannot be blocked. It can't be blocked, which makes it significantly less good. But still not terrible by any stretch. It means you're getting bodies. Whenever you cast a spell that targets this creature, creatures you control get +1/+0 until the end of turn. This is a decent little card. It's a lot for its buy. It's a 4/4 for 5. So that's, again, on the curb, a playable card generally for like limited formats, sealed, whatnot, pre-releases. That you're getting extra body with it means that you're getting a 5 for 5. And the fact that this thing can pump other creatures as long as you target it, it's actually pretty good as well. How many abilities exist out there that allow you to target it is the question. Nightmare Shepherd is 2 black, 2 of any color for a enchantment creature demon. I looked it up. Flying, 4/4. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it and create a 1/1 token that's a copy of that creature and is a nightmare in addition to its other type. This is interesting. So essentially, anything that dies, be it, let's say, actually, you know what? I just realized immediately this could have some fun interactions with the Titans. Because remember, unless they escape, you have to sacrifice it when it hits the battlefield. That means it still hits the battlefield. So let's assume you play the Titan for its cost. It dies. You make it escape. Comes back on the field. Someone manages to kill it while this thing's on the field. That means you get another 1/1 activation, 1/1 creature that hits the battlefield as a copy of this and dies immediately afterwards. So you get an activation of the effect. That's kind of cool. And a weird unlikelihood you might get a god for some reason to die, which it does exist in this set. We'll get to that in a little bit. You could get the god back. There's plenty of creatures this works with. Hell, the favored of Iros, the Heroes of Revel, on any of these cards. This is a solid card because you're not, as long as it's not a token, you're not losing the body. The body's just getting smaller. So if you've got a creature that's got a really good static effect, or it's got a cool ETB trigger that could work with it, this card could definitely be playable. I could definitely see use for this. Thassa's Intervention. Now, we have 4 of the interventions so far. Heliod's is clearly the last one that'll show up. It's probably the most story prevalent, like the climax of the story. Which I probably heard a lot of people say they're not liking how they're handling the story in this. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't the most fond of it either. But regardless, it still is what it is. But Thassa's Intervention, 2 blue, X, instant rare. Choose 1. Look at the top X cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. Or you can counter target spell unless the controller plays twice the X amount. This is a pretty solid one. It's like a pretty beefed up scry. Or you could go with a severely enhanced Mono Leak. It's not hard to get this to like a 6 mana cost for the opponent to play their spell. It's all a matter of what exactly you're paying, or what exactly they're playing, and then what exactly you're paying. So this is a pretty solid one. If I had to rank the interventions so far, I'd probably say, honestly, Erebos is the best. This one probably comes in a good second. Countering spells is always good. Perforoses, or Perforoses. I think Thassa's and Perforoses are honestly a little tied. I might actually lean a bit more towards Perforoses. It's a bit more proactive. This one's a bit more reactive. Obviously, blue's always reactive, or almost always. And probably Nihili's is probably the worst. None of them are bad. They're probably the worst. Shadow Spear is 1 of any color for a legendary artifact, equipment, rare. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample and lifelink. You can pay 1 of any color. Permanents your opponents control lose hexproof and indestructible to the end of turn, and you can equip it for 2. So obviously this is the new sphere that either Ashiok or Erebus has given Elspeth to basically take down Heliod or take down any number of the gods of Pantheon. From a lore perspective, though, the only thing I'm not understanding is how is this actually going to... Yeah, it gets rid of the lifelink, gets rid of hexproof and indestructible. That's all well and good, but unless you're strong enough to beat the thing that you're attacking, there's no way Elspeth could theoretically kill God with this thing. Like, Godsend had an effect that literally could take out a god. This thing can weaken a god, but it can't take a god out on its own. You need to equip it on a pretty powerful creature because there's no first strike. There's no death touch, which you would think with this type of card you'd have. So I'm not understanding that. But in terms of the card itself, the card is great. I mean, you'll probably equip it on just like a big dragon or something like that. Card's great. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of it. Absolutely. It's cheap. It's affordable. You can get it down turn 1 and just let it linger for a while. There's very little in terms of artifact destruction I've seen in this set so far. So if you're in the pre-release, this card's probably not going anywhere. So yeah, it's a good card. A very good card. Bronze-Eyed Lion is 1 green, 1 white. 3/3 cat creature, rare. Obviously, it's a take on Fleece Mane Lion, just a different iteration of it. You can pay Selesnya, green and white. It gains indestructible until the end of turn, and when this card dies, return it to the battlefield as an aura enchantment, enchant onto enchanted creature you control, which has pay Selesnya, green and white. Creature gains indestructible until the end of turn and loses all its other abilities. So basically, I heard someone basically point out, it's great, it's absolutely true. It's no, I can't remember the actual name of the lion, but the lion that Hercules slew. Essentially, this is that. And then you wear the lion as the item of garb for protection, like Hercules did. So that's a pretty fun little card right there. Absolutely. In terms of the rest of these cards right here are nothing more than like what you get in the Planeswalker decks. So not at least those are. So not really anything I'd prefer to go over just because they're not part of the main set. Heliod's Pilgrim is 1 white, 2 of any color for a human cleric. Common, 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an aura, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. It's a good little tutor card. It's got a bit of a butt. Not much of a butt. In fact, for 3 mana, this is pretty weak, but it's a search card. You'll probably, if you've got auras you want to get out, you'll get it. You'll use it. Hero of the Pride is a 2/2 for 2. It's a bear. Cat in this case, but it's a bear. Whenever you cast a spell that targets this card, it gets creatures you control get +1/+0. It's got heroic. So yeah, it's a good guy. It's definitely a decent card. 1 second here real quick. I want to at least get one of the other cards I want to talk about here up. So I got to go to the rumor mill real quick. It is not mythical. Nyxborn Ancient. That's it. Nyxbloom Ancient. So the last mythic rare is actually a green card. I thought it was going to be a black card, honestly. There's very few black cards, like mythic. Like, you have Ashiok and you have, obviously, Erebos, but you have Thassa, you have Ashiok, you have Kiora Bet's the Sea God, so that's 3 right there in blue. White's got 2. Hell, and then you also got to factor in the Titan, the green-blue Titan, so that's a lot in blue and green. So I assumed that the last one was going to be a black card, but I was very sorely mistaken. So just so we can get a big... just so we can increase the size of this. Okay, I guess it's not going to get any bigger. I can increase the size on the screen. But anyway, Nyxbloom Ancient is 3 green, 4 of any color for a 5/5 elemental creature with trample. If you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times that much mana instead. As you can kind of see here, the guy's saying, what the what? Yeah, that is, first off, that's a commander, like, all-star. You're in any green deck, you're probably going to want to play this thing. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Any green deck I have may want to play that, but the problem is like, yeah, I got that mana, but after all, I'm going to be running out of stuff in my hand. I need something to be a mana sink for that. Luckily, I have a Hydra deck. So, hello, you are my Hydra deck's new friend. Like, I've got like a bunch of like Roshi Meanderers in there. I'm like, oh yeah, tap for X. Yeah, you know, this tap for X thing I might swap one of you guys out for this guy. Yeah, he's about, 3 mana more expensive and like just in one color, not hybrid. But you know what? The benefits outweigh that. So I think that's definitely where he's going to be going. But yeah, that's pretty much all the cards we got. We had one or two extra cards today. I think we had one I missed. It's a red card. Not that there. Right there. Oh, Furious Rise. That was it. And that's dealing with the God Destiny getting a revenge. 1 red, 2 of any color for an uncommon enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with this card. It's interesting. Not amazing, but it's cheap. So it'll let you play some cards. Now, if you play this down on turn 3, yeah, it's not a May ability. If you play this on turn 3, you may be losing your best cards earlier in the game because you don't have the mana to play them. So be wary on that, but not a bad little card. But that's all I got on this for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I'll be back in a little while with top 10 and what if. I've got my first top 10 I've got to get to, which is my top 10 worst movies of 2019. So give me a little bit for that, and I'll be back later.